Unfortunately, priorities around here tend to change day to day, so I just kind of roll with it. So let's talk big projects. The big project, the next priority that I got is going to be putting gutters on this building. Because once I get rain gutters on this building, then I can start on my rainwater collection system and get that all put together. And of course, the secondary effect of that will be we don't have as much water runoff that's eroding away at this ground. So that's a good thing. So I think that my next big priority has got to be to get rain gutters up and get that done. Right now I'm in what I'll call the design phase of my rain gutters. I've got an idea. I need to put it to paper and draw it out and draw it out to the level of detail that it can be punched into a CAD system so that I can go to the sheet metal folks and get them to build everything that I need. I've got it partially drawn out, but I need to get to the next phase, which is drawing the actual gutter. And in order to do that, I guess I got to be able to get up there and take some measurements and do a little designing, I guess. But right now my telehandler's broke. It won't go in reverse, so that's a whole nother issue. I got a lot of equipment right now that's broke, that needs work, and I just it ain't a priority to fix it. So while I'm waiting to get to the next step on this, we got rain a few days away, which means right now everything's pretty dry and I have the ability to do some work. And my pit is opened up where I can get clay. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the bulldozer over, try to smooth out all that sand, and then I'm gonna start hauling dirt again and try to get that road covered up and get a good layer of clay over that and see how much dirt we can haul and how far along we can get that road. Further along I get it, better off we'll be. That's one of those projects that once I start it, I can't leave it for a long time and just walk away from it like I did, because if I do that, I'm going to end up in the same scenario where erosion is just going to tear away at it. So I've got to be able to get it built, get everything going the way I need it to go, get water flowing the way I want it to flow, and then start covering it up with crushed concrete to protect it. And well, then it should be good to go. But I can see by looking at the Grand Canyon over here that I've got a lot of dirt to haul to get to that point. A lot of dirt. Just to fill this Grand Canyon ditch right here is probably shoot, maybe 5 dump truck loads. I don't know, it's a pretty big ditch. So a lot of dirt to go in there. I have no idea how many dump truck loads I'm going to need to actually build that road up completely, but it's going to be a lot. I would say minimum of 50 loads, but probably more than that. So anyway, that's where we're at. Stick with us. Let's see how it goes. Well, there's step one. I just ran the dozer and did a little cleanup. Basically kind of pushed that sand out and made it to where I can drive up and down it anyway. Don't think I would drive the dump truck all the way, but the dozer will come up and down. Kind of gives us an idea of how much dirt we need on the road. It's got to come up a few feet over the whole road, and the side there's got to be built out a little bit, and of course this Grand Canyon's got to be cleaned out a bit, or filled up, I guess we should say. So that's where we're at. I guess we go over to the other side now and get prepared to start moving some dirt. Okay, I got 9 loads on the ground and 1 more load in the truck. So I tried to back up this road a little ways, but that sand is kind of soft. It's not packed because I just smoothed it out and didn't really focus on packing it at all. So a loaded dump truck sinks pretty good in that sand and just bogs down. Didn't get stuck or anything, it just bogged because it's sinking a bit. And so that's about as far as I could get with a load. So I dropped that load and then dropped, I don't know, 4 or 5 more loads behind it, and that's about as far as I could get. So I'll bring the dozer in and work all that, spread it out a bit, and try to pack this up a little more. Work it same way from the top end and see how much of this we can get covered up. That's 10 loads, so figured that's good enough for today. We'll work it with the dozer, see how it looks, and then go from there. Do however many more loads we need to do tomorrow and keep at it until we get her where we want her to be. Alright, so that's what 10 loads looks like. So this obviously is just roughed in. It's not finished product, not even close. All we wanted to do was spread the dirt around a bit, pack it down a little bit, and see what we're looking like. So the Grand Canyon's filled in, but if we don't do something to fix it, it's just gonna erode out again. So we got a lot of work to do. The road, I'd say, I don't know if that's halfway or a little under halfway, maybe 3/8, I don't know. But we made good progress on it. Got a lot to do still. We're gonna have to not just cover the top, we gotta cover the sides and everything and get it all shored up. So all we're doing right now is just bringing in loads of dirt, spreading it out, and trying to get it up to the level we need it. And then we'll keep on bringing loads of dirt until we get it finished out. And of course, once it's all finished out, as far as the dirt's considered, then we still got to put rock on top of it in the long run. So this ain't gonna be no couple-day project. But pretty happy with how day 1 went. I mean, you can see down at the bottom here that we're already coming up good on the level of the road. So that's a good start. Hopefully tomorrow we can get the dump truck further up this clay and not bog down like we did in that sand. This looks like clay or sand on top. That's just sand that came off my tracks. It's all clay. And it feels pretty solid when I stand on it. It's got a little moisture in it, so it packs in real good. But overall, I'm happy. You can see here now down on this end, we already covered everything. See, there's no sand visible down here, so that's a good start. Now once I'm done, I'll cut a ditch along the side here, probably with the little excavator, so that the water can flow along the side and come out and join what the ditch I'm building. That dirt pile will be gone. And I'm building a ditch along the side, which then will flow down across the road through a culvert eventually, and that'll be our path for water. So a lot of work to do here, a lot of work with road, but this has been my plan all along. That single lane deal was temporary, just so we could get in and out, but the goal was to make this road this wide, and that's because I want to be able to come right out that door and head on down the hill, or come around the building, either or. So we're building the interstate here. And of course, when you get to the bottom, you'll just join into the main road. It won't stay this wide all the way. That's just, this hill's going to be this wide. So a lot of fill work to do. Got a big cutout up here, just where sand eroded away so much that it didn't have enough sand to fill it in. That's okay. We'll fill it in. Just be a lot more clay coming in, and we'll bring this thing up the way I want it. So you can see that I still got a few feet, probably 3 feet of lift through here. We're up even down at the bottom, but once we get to this center part, it goes from about 2 foot to 3 foot. So a lot of clay got to go in there, but we'll bring it up level, clean everything up, get rid of these weeds, finish out the edges, and we'll have a decent road when we're done. And then we'll cover it with rock to keep the erosion under control. Ah, man, it's a lot of work, but you know, the end reward will be worth it. And so you might be wondering, you know, what the long-term plan is for these roads. And I'll tell you, we keep putting this rock crushed concrete down. And this is not our end game. This is just our building a good solid base that doesn't erode away like crazy. Once I get this thing to where I want it, which, you know, I don't know if it's going to take me, shit, it could take me years, I don't know. Just however long it takes, it takes. It's pretty much how I do everything. I just keep working on it till I get it how I want it. And so the long-term plan is that once the road is how I want it, meaning I've got the water flow under control, I've got the, you know, all the culverts in, my ditches are good, and I'm basically, whenever it pours, everything is flowing the way I want it to flow, and the roads are working the way I want them to work, then we'll come in with the next layer. So this layer is our base layer. It's big rock. A lot of these, you know, these concrete pieces, they call them 3x5, but there's pieces that are bigger than 5 that we get. And like I say, that's they sell it, they call it riprap sometimes. I mean, it's got a bunch of different names, but it's just big pieces of concrete that, you know, are good for mud and corrosion, and erosion. And you know, they build a good base, and that's what we're doing. We're building a good base so that our erosion is under control and everything, and then we're going to come in on top of that with an actual road base, which is, you know, a much smaller. Probably we'll use the crushed concrete again. We like using the recycled stuff, but it'll be a much smaller bit. And when I get to that point, the plan is to lay down that concrete and then spread it out with the grader so that we have a real smooth first finish, and then we'll compact it, and then we'll see what happens. And if that comes out the way we want it to and we got a good finish, then we may come in on top of that and buy asphalt millings, which is, you know, recycled blacktop, and put a layer on top of that and then compact it in, and you know, when we're done, it'll be like the interstate. Well, my version anyway. So, you know, stuff like this where I drive the dozer around and turn it and everything, and it stirs up rocks and stuff, that just drives Lorena crazy. She sees that and she wants to fix it immediately, and I'm like, just don't worry about it, we're gonna get there. This is all temporary, it's not the final plan, you know. But it just bothers her. She hates to have it all tore up like that. So that's a good time to do these projects when she ain't here, so I don't have to have her suffer from my mess. But it's all part of the process, one step at a time. And you know, we're doing this on a nickel too, so I know a nickel ain't worth nothing nowadays, but if I tried to pay somebody to do this, you know, the professional way, shoot, it'd probably be $1 million. I don't know. We're talking, by the time we're done, it's like 1/4 mile of road. And so that would not be cheap to do all this, but we're doing it on the cheap, and we're paying cash. And you know, most of it, like I say, the only thing we've been buying is obviously diesel to run equipment, and this recycled crushed concrete, and all the other, you know, top layer stuff that we'll buy that is recycled. But this dirt, we're getting it here on the property, we're just moving it, and we got a plan. You know, all this dirt I'm taking out, well, that's going to make a beautiful pond down there. And so eventually that'll be my project. Once I'm done taking dirt from there, then the project will be to smooth it all out and build some dams and let her fill up with water. And you know, hopefully we'll be able to fill her up with water, lime it so the water clears, and you know, then put some fish in there. At a minimum, I'll throw some catfish in there, because catfish will pretty much grow in any body of water. But if we can make it big enough and nice enough, then you know, maybe we put some other varieties in there too. So this is kind of a practice lake for me too, because I want to build a big lake on here. And if I can do all this and practice and kind of get an idea of what I'm doing, then that'll make the next one that much easier. So it's all good, it's all fun. This is what I do. Appreciate y'all joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if we'll continue on this video or do another video. It depends on when we go to put it together, how much we got. But if we keep going, then tomorrow will be in the same video, and we'll keep going on it. If not, then you know, we'll see you on the next one.